me becoming successful, basically what I'm saying is my family looks at me as a generational leader. I am changing the trajectory of my family because I've been able to not just make it to the NBA, but also educate myself enough to know how I can utilize this capital to be able to allow us to thrive, not just, exist or survive out here, but us to thrive out here. And probably why I'm so passionate about, you know, it's probably why I'm so passionate about the next generation doing better than me is because I don't want them to be afraid to take on that role. You know, we make a a good living. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We make a good living playing in the NBA. If you look at the average NBA salary or the average NBA years, it doesn't reflect everybody and what they're getting paid, but it does reflect a pretty much an average an average I would say level of capital or money that's coming in. But what else do you do? What else do you do in the world? Like we can lock in on basketball all day, every day, but what else do you offer? And that's probably what has pushed me to go and get my degree and go and take classes and apply to school because I don't want to just be known as just, I don't just want to be known as just a great basketball player. I didn't accomplish anything. And of course I'm gonna do great things and help out the world, but I still want to have a strong brain on my shoulders. I want to have a strong brain. I want to continue to expand this. I love being able to be creative and be imaginative, but it's also like there's so much that I'm interested in doing. And I think honestly being injured has given me a chance to really reevaluate some of those goals that I had. You know, I set a high standard for myself. I set really high goals, and I want you guys to do the same thing. But really, what I'm referring to is how I grew up becoming this generational leader. I've had to earn it. You know, I've had to earn it. I didn't. This role wasn't given to me. I had to earn this, like to go through specific things in the world that the world may know about, and a lot of things that the world will never know about. I had to go through these things to earn that spot within my family. I don't know if you guys see this black sheep up here, but if you know what a black sheep is of their family, you kind of get the gist of what that's like. You know, I'm gonna get it to your questions. I'm gonna get to your questions, but again, guys, I just want you to listen because I want you to use me as an example, not just as this basketball player, but just get to know me on these platforms as Kai coming to y'all and speaking to you about not only about healing and holistic ways to heal, but also how I'm handling the stressful moments, the stresses that come with being a generational leader in your family. A lot of you guys in this chat, probably young, my age, or a little bit older, and you're like, what is he getting at? And it's like, no, when you actually question things around you, you're not a common person anymore. I know those that are listening, I'm talking to y'all, so that's really who I'm talking to at this point. But that's what I'm passionate about is making sure it's not easy to be that generational leader family that's here to reverse the brainwashing and make sure the next generation doesn't fall victim to the same things we fell victim to. Because I fell victim to the ignorance. I fell victim to the debauchery. I fell victim to the hurt and pain. And I allowed that to stop me from being who I truly wanted to be. And the reason why I'm also telling you this because I don't want you to be young and discredit yourself so early. I was a child prodigy, guys. I was a child prodigy. I came into the NBA very young. I'm a child prodigy. I was in my teens. I was 19 years old. I had just turned 19 when I came into the NBA. I didn't know how to wash I knew how to wash my own clothes, but I wasn't washing my own clothes. I wasn't cleaning no dishes. I had never had a job before I got to the NBA. NBA was my first job. I had no idea how to take care of myself. Like I had no idea how to file taxes. I had no idea about being a professional. I had no idea that I was in the world of entertainment and the broader world of like expectations of like you're a professional athlete, so you got to be like this. So I came into it just very excited, trying to be more mature than I actually was, and I failed. I did, yo. I failed, y'all. I failed. I failed trying to be older than what I was, and I feel like that's what this younger generation is trying to do. We're all trying to be older than what we are, trying to fit in. And then once you get to my age, you look back and you're like, Damn, I wish I still had a little bit of my youth to be able to look around me and be like, yo, I'm actually doing it. No, I'm actually doing it.